Welcome back, trainers. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with another Pokemon viewer battle in Scarlet and Violet. Of course, we are battling none other than Logan Gammon. Now, Logan, when we decided to do a battle, you weren't really sure about G or H or, single battle. You wanted to do a double battle. And you know what, guys? This is the best thing about my stream is that we will battle you with whatever Pokemon you want to battle with. You wanted to battle with a Ho-Oh and a Rayquaza. That's perfectly fine with me. You guys can bring whichever you would like. So, of course, there's the airlock, and of course, the Ho-Oh is exerting its pressure. Now, of course, my team that I've brought with me, you guys have actually seen this team before. Tornadus, the whole purpose behind Tornadus is to set up the Tailwind, go for the Icy Winds, and of course, maybe set up a Rain Dance if needed. And of course, we do have Landorus here. He is pretty much our attacker. Now, of course, the Ho-Oh gets withdrawn because obviously he's a little afraid of probably the Landorus, let's be honest. He ends up bringing in his Zacian. Now, of course, Intrepid Sword is now activated, and we've also activated the Tailwind, which is actually going to boost up the speed from our entire team. Now, of course, we did end up locking in the Sludge Bomb into the Rayquaza because we actually couldn't hit any of the opposing Pokemon with any ground-type moves. In comes the Hyper Beam from the Rayquaza into the Tornadus, and luckily we're actually still able to survive. Now, what we're going to do here with the Tornadus, we're going to go for the Icy Wind, but we're also going to go in for the attack onto the Zacian. As you guys know, Zacian is a Fairy-type Pokemon, so when we actually go for a Sludge Bomb, this is going to be super effective onto that Fairy-type Pokemon. Now, of course, Zacian has ended up going in for the Terra Fairy, becoming a pure Fairy-type Pokemon. The Tornadus actually ends up going in for the Icy Wind. We actually get the speed drop on both of the opposing Pokemon. And of course, Landorus comes in with the Sludge Bomb here and poisoning the Zacian. That's an incredible amount of damage off onto this legendary beast. And, he ends up retaliating with a Moonblast. Now, of course, Moonblast is going to target the Landorus. Landorus is able to survive, and Rayquaza actually can't make any kind of a turn here this round, basically due to the whole Hyper Beam scenario and having to recharge. Now, as you guys can see, the Zacian is actually losing some health there from the poison, and that's going to happen every turn until it is knocked out or otherwise healed from like a heal bell or something along those lines. Zacian's going to be withdrawn. Back to the party of Logan, and of course in comes Deoxys Defense. Now, I haven't seen Deoxys Defense in years. I haven't battled a Deoxys since Generation 4, and I don't really know what to expect from this thing. Rayquaza also goes back to the party, and in comes the Iron Boulder. Now, Iron Boulder is going to be one of those Pokemon that I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't battled very much of in this latest generation. I haven't seen it very much because most people tend to go for like an Iron Crown. But we're going to go in for the Sludge Bomb here into the Deoxys, and that's going to do a decent chunk of damage, taking it down below half the hit points. Now, of course, as you can see, we have one more round of Tailwind still left, and we now have to make a decision. Are we going to go for the Icy Wind again? Are we going to set up the Rain Dance so we can do a Bleak Wind Storm? What are we going to do here? Of course, we are going to go in and ponder the Rain Dance for a minute. Pretty much I'm debating on Rain Dance, so that way we can actually get a Bleak Wind Storm off. But we are going to go in for the Icy Wind here. Icy Wind is going to pick up and lower the the speed stats of the opposing Pokemon, so that way we are actually faster. The Landorus is going to go in for the Sandsear Storm. That is going to be able to pick up the KO on the two opposing Pokemon and be able to take out more Pokemon on Logan's side. So now Logan is now out his Deoxys, he's out his Iron Boulder, but he still has his Ho-Oh, his Rayquaza, and his poisoned Zacian. Now, of course, our Tailwind is now down, so our Pokemon may not actually go first next turn. In comes the Ho-Oh here, the rainbow-colored Pokemon. Not so much rainbow at this point. The shiny form is a little bit dull. But in comes the Mewtwo. Now, Mewtwo is a psychic Pokemon. I know you guys know all about Mewtwo here, but that shiny form is absolute boss. Kudos to Logan for shiny hunting that thing. So here we go, we're looking at our stats here, we're trying to debate on what we want to do. Pretty much at this time, we really need to get that Tailwind set back up. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to set up that Tailwind. pretty much I'm trying to debate what my best choice of play here is. I can't go for the Sandsteer Storm, I'm not going to be able to hit the Ho-Oh, but if I go for the Earth Power, I might actually get some decent damage off onto that Mewtwo. So we got the Tailwind up, our speed is boosted up for our entire team. We are losing some health there from our Life Orb, and of course in comes the Ancient Power from Mewtwo into that Tornadus, and we do live down to 14 hit points. The Ho-Oh goes for the Future Sight, and of course Ho-Oh has foreseen an attack, and now we're going to go in for the Icy Wind here to try to lower the speed of the opposing Pokemon. We're going to go in for the Sludge Bomb here with the Landorus into the Ho-Oh slot in hopes that we're going to actually be able to do some damage to that thing. Of course, we can't do any ground type moves because it is a flying based Pokemon, but Sludge Bomb definitely will help us out there, hopefully later on. Mewtwo going back to the party, and of course another Pokemon is going to come into play. Here is the Rayquaza coming back in, and of course that shininess is Sparkle all over the battlefield. Here we go with the Icy Wind, and of course Icy Wind is going to make contact with the two opposing Pokemon. Rayquaza and Ho-Oh are going to have their speed dropped, and Rayquaza is going to faint as well. Rayquaza is a dragon flying type Pokemon, so it's actually 4 times weak to ice. And we do get a Sludge Bomb off onto the Ho-Oh. Unfortunately, we can't take it out, but our Life Orb actually finishes us off, and our Landorus is now out. Of course, Ho-Oh going in for the fire-based move, I believe that was a Fire Blast into the Tornadus, and has ended up picking up the KO there as well. Now, we do have a couple of Pokemon here in our party that we can actually use. We're pretty much debating on Urshifu and Ogerpon. So we're going to bring out Urshifu here. Now, of course, we are using the Surging Strikes Urshifu, and we are bringing out the Hearth Flame Ogerpon. Now, Ogerpon here is a Grass and Fire type Pokemon, whereas Urshifu is a Water Fighting type. In comes Zaxian here yet again, and as you guys can see here, Ogerpon does have the Mold Breaker ability. Now, we pretty much have to decide here what our best choice of play is, because quite frankly, Ho-Oh could be a little bit of a problem with some flying-based moves, and any kind of psychic-based moves as well. Now, I don't really want to get hit by any of those moves, or even by like a play rough from the Zaxian, so we're actually going to go in for the Terrestrialization here. We're going to go in for Terra Water, and that is going to make us a pure water-type Pokemon. So those moves that I was talking about earlier there are no longer going to be an issue, because now we're just pure water type. Here we go with the Follow Me. We're going to redirect all moves into the Ogerpon. We should be able to take any kind of hit that comes our way, and we are going to be able to outspeed our opposing Pokemon on the other side. We are going to go for the Surging Strikes here. We're actually going to be able to hit the Ho-Oh twice, and that is going to knock out the Ho-Oh. So that just leaves the Zaxian and the Mewtwo left onto the opposing side. And, of course, the Zaxian is now going to go in for the Moonblast. Now, because we did go for the Follow Me, that's going to redirect all the attacks into the Ogerpon. And, of course, now Ogerpon has also taken the Future Sight, which was foreseen by the Ho-Oh earlier in the battle. Of course, Zaxian is also going to lose some health due to poison, taking it right down into the final stands of that slot. In comes Mewtwo, and of course, as you can see, Mewtwo is also hurting. He's decided to float in the air up off the ground because he does not want to stand any further. He might actually end up knocking himself out. So we're going to go in for the Spiky Shield, and of course we are going for, I believe, the Surging Strikes with the Urshifu there once again. Now, we are waiting for Logan to decide what he wants to do. Here we go with the Spiky Shield. That should be able to protect us from any kind of moves from the opposing side. And if they be physical, then of course the opposing Pokemon does take damage. We end up going in, it looks like an Aqua Jet. I thought I selected Surging Strikes, that's my bad. So we actually got priority there and took out the Mewtwo. In comes the Giga Impact, and it actually avoids the Urshifu. Urshifu is now the victor here in this battle, and Zaxian is now down and out. So good game there, Logan. Thank you very much for the battle. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I can't wait to battle you guys on stream. Take care, have a good one, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.